Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. Other people's views and troubles can be contagious. Don't sabotage yourself by unwittingly adopting negative, unproductive attitudes through your associations with others. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Only the educated are free. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. To accuse others for one's own misfortune is a sign of want of education. To accuse oneself shows that one's education has begun. To accuse neither oneself nor others shows that one's education is complete. Nature hath given men one tongue but two ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. I laugh at those who think they can damage me. They do not know who I am, they do not know what I think, they cannot even touch the things which are really mine, and with which I live. You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Hold to your true aspirations, no matter what is going on around you. First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves. If evil be said of thee, and if it be true, correct thyself. If it be a lie, laugh at it. Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and all will be well with you. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. Preach not to others what they should eat, but eat as becomes you and be silent. Events do not just happen, but arrive by appointment. It is not so much what happens to you, as how you think about what happens. We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens to us. Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. It is better to die of hunger having lived without grief and fear, than to live with a troubled spirit amid abundance. Demand not that things happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well. Men are not afraid of things, but of how they view them. Control thy passions lest they take vengeance on thee. We must not believe the many who say that only free people ought to be educated, but we should rather believe the philosophers who say that only the educated are free. On the occasion of every accident that befalls you, remember to turn to yourself and inquire what power you have for turning it to use. If any be unhappy, let him remember that he is unhappy by reason of himself alone. For God hath made all men to enjoy felicity and constancy of good. It is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is terrible only if we fear it. There is but one way to tranquility of mind and happiness, and that is to account no external things thine own, but to commit all to God. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Imagine for yourself a character, a model personality, whose example you determine to follow, in private as well as in public. The essence of philosophy is that a man should so live, that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. If you seek truth, you will not seek to gain a victory by every possible means. And when you have found truth, you need not fear being defeated. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Your happiness depends on 3 things, all of which are within your power: your will, your ideas concerning the events in which you are involved, and the use you make of your ideas. It is better to do wrong seldom, and to own it, and to act right for the most part, than seldom to admit that you have done wrong, and to do wrong often. What really frightens and dismays us is not external events themselves, but the way in which we think about them. It is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance. What concerns me is not the way things are, but the way people think things are. Men are disturbed not by the things that happen, but by their opinion of the things that happen. Crows pick out the eyes of the dead, when the dead have no longer need of them, but flatterers mar the soul of the living, and her eyes they blind. Those who are well constituted in the body endure both heat and cold, and so those who are well constituted in the soul endure both anger and grief and excessive joy and the other effects. Whoever then would be free, let him wish for nothing, let him decline nothing, which depends on others, else he must necessarily be a slave. An ignorant person is inclined to blame others for his own misfortune. To blame oneself is proof of progress, but the wise man never has to blame another or himself. For sheep don't throw up the grass to show the shepherds how much they have eaten, but inwardly digesting their food, they outwardly produce wool and milk. Be free from grief, not through insensibility like the irrational animals, nor through want of thought like the foolish, but like a man of virtue by having reason as the consolation of grief. Freedom is not procured by a full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling the desire. Freedom and slavery, the one is the name of virtue, and the other of vice, and both are acts of the will.